Welcome to Inner Shift, a space
Listen
where you
closely.
don't learn.
That voice inside your head, the one constantly narrating your life, judging your choices, and worrying about tomorrow, is not actually you. We are conditioned to consume endless streams of media, searching for a quick fix to feel better. This video serves a different purpose. It provides the structural framework for a shift in your awareness. If you have recently realized that the script you were handed at birth feels hollow, and you are feeling the heavy silence where your ambition used to be, stay exactly where you are. You are ready to understand the transformation of your mind. It usually strikes without warning. You wake up one morning, reach for the goals or relationships that used to drive you, and they feel like objects belonging to a stranger. You look at your own life and feel nothing. Your brain immediately assumes something is broken. Society applies labels like burnout or anhedonia to the state. The cultural reflex treats your apathy as a failure of character or a condition that requires correction. This numbness represents a highly intelligent withdrawal of energy. Your internal system is deliberately cutting the power to an inherited narrative that no longer serves your development. This agonizing loss of interest marks a threshold of growth. Your awareness has simply outgrown its current container. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung identified the specific psychological structure you are currently dismantling. He called it the persona, the social mask constructed early in life to ensure acceptance and survival. The persona is a rigid structure. As your consciousness matures, it must discard this mask, much like a snake shedding its skin. The restlessness you feel is your biology pulling energy away from a structure that can no longer contain you. Panic sets in when we try to reverse this process. We pour willpower into reviving dead passions, forcing ourselves to care about expectations we have clearly outgrown. That heavy, suffocating exhaustion represents the friction generated when an expanding consciousness attempts to fit into an outdated identity. Thinkers like Eckhart Tolle recognize this collapse. When the narrative that provided your sense of self crumbles, you enter a phase philosophers describe as the dark night of the soul. This initiates an existential vacuum. Your mind is emptied of its conditioning and the hollow desires you were taught to chase. You are left in a silent internal space. The human instinct is to scramble out of this silence. We try to fill the gap with distraction or new productivity, hoping to regain the feeling of control. The void acts as a necessary clearing. You are being hollowed out so you can finally tune into a frequency you previously had no room to receive. To navigate this space beyond the void, your operating system must shift. You move away from forcing outcomes and learn to yield to inspiration, the quiet pull toward what resonates. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl built an entire school of psychology on this premise. He observed that meaning is an active construction, built deliberately in the face of suffering and despair. Construction begins with small, honest actions. It requires choosing to create, care for someone, or observe the present moment. These conscious choices aggregate and compound, replacing the vacuum with a self-authored purpose, generated from the inside out. Real awakening involves stepping back into the dismantled reality of your life and choosing what you will build next. If you feel disoriented, know that you haven't failed. You were never meant to return to the way things were. That old life was a cocoon you have naturally outgrown. Take a breath. Notice the quiet spaciousness in your body right now. That is the feeling of your authentic self finally having room to exist. This unraveling is the first phase of a larger journey. Subscribe and stay with us. Your true work is just beginning.